is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
Man, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to The Process. Again, The Process is always greater than the product. 10-year NFL vet Shawn Barber. I'm here with my man, Christian Okoye. We're going to get to his life story in a little bit, but before we do that, we got to pay some bills. I'd like to thank our title sponsor, the McGinnis Group, where, yes, I'm working for the McGinnis Group, and we do an amazing job of specializing in employee benefits, healthcare insurance for companies, retirement, financial services, life insurance, and long-term care. We would love to have the opportunity to review your current plan and learn more about your game plan for the game of life. And remember to be a part of the MGI team, and remember what team means, TEAM, together, everyone achieves more. And with that being said, man, welcome to The Process. The Process is always greater than the product. I'm Shawn Barber, your host. And again, like I said before, we are so thrilled to have the man, the myth, the legend. He's a mountain of a man, not only on the field, right, causing nightmares on the field, but in our community when it comes to charity. Man, his heart has been so wide, so open. From California here to Kansas City, my man, former NFL running back, former Chiefs, current Hall of Famer, current Chiefs Ring of Honor. You just keep putting on the accolades. My man, Christian Okoye. Keep it coming. So we start every show, Christian. Hey, we're going to get right into it. We start every show with the who, the what, the where. Who is Christian Okoye? What is he doing now? And then where can people find you on social media? And so we'll just kick it off like that, man. We'll kick it off like that.
Christian Okoye is a kid that came from Nigeria, grew up in Nigeria, went to high school in Nigeria, and then got into track and field. And track and field brought him to Azusa Pacific University in Southern California, where he went to school. Talking about me now.
Yes.
And eventually started playing football junior year in college. And I played 3 years there and was drafted by the Chiefs and spent about 6 years playing for the Chiefs. And now working with my foundation, Christian Okoye Foundation, and founded the California Sports Hall of Fame, and I'm the head of it. And it's a lot of work, but we're doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you mentioned the Sports Hall of Fame. You're the president and the founder of the Christian Okoye Foundation. Let's talk a little bit about the Christian Okoye Foundation. My first experience, obviously, I knew you was a part of it, but when COVID hit, you reached out to me. It was like, Shawn, listen, I'm in California. Hey, this COVID thing, I've accompanied or joined forces. We've created all these N95 masks. We want to make sure that people are covered and people are taking care of themselves. They're as healthy as possible. And when you reached out to me and told me, hey, Shawn, I'm shipping boxes in the thousands, 25,000 a box, 2,500 a box, whatever it was. You was like, can you name a few companies back in Kansas City that have a need for masks? And I'll make sure they get shipped. And so I was wondering, all right, well, who's going to pay for this? And you was like, bro, I didn't ask you for no money. I asked you for organizations and names that could need masks.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you, 8 or 9 different organizations. Yes. And within 7 days, they received a shipment of thousands of those top-end, top-quality masks. Yeah. And I just couldn't believe, in the bottom of my heart, I was just like, man, I couldn't believe how quickly you responded to the call when there was a need. So things like that, the Christian Okoye Foundation is doing, and that's the way you impact Kansas City. But what else, other ways are you impacting the other communities you're involved with?
Well, we did the same thing to other cities, especially in California, because we are partnered with a company that just shipped a shipload of N95s from China or whatever, and they were trying to, sell it, and some of it they couldn't sell. So I told them, I said, listen, I can pay you pennies on the dollars for this mask, give them to me. I have a foundation and we can help you, distribute it to those people that need it, because a lot of people needed the mask. So he sent it to me by the truckloads, so that's when I called you and he gave me the addresses and we started shipping them out. And a lot of people appreciated it. People were coming to my storage facility in California, picking those masks up. And it helped out a whole lot of people, and we're able to just ship all of them out. And I was very happy when that happened, and people still thank me today for that.
Well, we talked about, man, the impact you've had on so many different communities. People can find you on social media. You don't look for him in his personal social media, but if you look for the Christian Okoye Foundation, it has its own website, www.christianokoye.com. That'll link you, show you links to get to the foundation. If he's on Facebook, it's Christian Okoye 35, X, which is now, used to be Twitter, now X, just Christian Okoye, and then obviously on Instagram, Christian Okoye 35. So that's where you can find him on social media. But definitely when you're looking for him, don't overlook the foundation, because that's where all the important things are going on. Looking up for his stats, you're trying to find out highlight videos. Man, you can find those anywhere. He's ran over a bunch of people during his career, but what he's doing now in the community and how he's impacting so many lives through his foundation, that's where you really want to look. So, man, just so much appreciation, so much love for the Christian Okoye Foundation. And so now let's talk about this new book you got, man. We haven't talked about that. The Nigerian Nightmare, that's the title, right? That was your nickname as a player.
That's right.
And so that became the title of the book. I saw it was some forewords by Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
With the book. But let's go and talk about the process of what inspired you, and what is the book? Obviously, we know it's about your career, but what are some of the main topics that have to be involved?
Well, you know, all along, people have been asking me to write a book. Did you write a book? Are you going to write a book? You need to write a book, and so on and so forth. So I've been thinking about it, and I think I started about 6 years ago, or maybe 7. I started with a guy in Kansas City who helped write something, but I didn't like it. And Eric Dickerson is a good friend of mine, and a guy from New York wrote his book by the name of Greg Hanlon. And he wrote his book, and I really liked his book. And so I said, you should call this guy. And I called him, and he was fantastic. You know, this guy don't have any time because everybody's been calling him to write their books, you know. So he took me up on it, and he wrote it, and it took about 18 months. And we got everything in it, I hope. And I really like it. I like it. And it's just everything about my life from Nigeria, the transition from track and field to football, and everybody that helped me along the way. Because, you know, I've always said that, you know, whatever success you have in life, whatever level that you have success in life, somebody helped you along the way.
Yes.
You know, so I made sure that I talked about all those people that helped me along the way. Starting from Nigeria, my dad, my family, and the coach that came to my dad, because my dad didn't want me to play sports in Nigeria. And this guy came and told my dad he would take care of your son. He says, I will take care of your son. I'll come pick him up. And after practice, I make sure I bring him back home so that you know that he's home safe. And he did that. And because of that, I got into sports and developed into what I am today. And, you know, so it always takes somebody to help you out. So saying that, I also tell people that when you know that somebody helped you, you're obligated to help somebody else. And that's what we all do.
Man, appreciate it. When you got a book signing coming up at Kelly's Inn in Westport.
Yes.
6 p.m. What day is that?
It's this Saturday on the 21st, 6 p.m. at Kelly's Westport.
Perfect. So if you want autograph, signed book, you want to come purchase a book and support the new book by Christian Okoye, obviously called The Nigerian Nightmare, and it's his journey from Africa to the Kansas City Chiefs and beyond. Love that. Love the title. Love the book. I'm going to go get it myself. I'll be out there at Kelly's. So come not only see Christian Okoye, but come holler at your boy, right? So, hey, before we go to break, I got one big question. You mentioned Eric Dickerson was one of your boys.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, everybody who doesn't know, Christian Okoye is a tremendous golfer. He's an amazing golfer, but he has a celebrity list of golfers he played with. So I want to know, who is the top 3 golfers? I'm going to list these names, and there's probably more names than you got. Okay. But Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Alfonso, Roberto, I can't remember his whole name, but Spud Webb, Marshall Faulk, Eric Dickerson, Rodney Peete, Chris Hale, Emmitt Smith, Bruce Aaron. Of those groups, and you can name some more people that you play with, who would you say are the top 3 celebrity golfers that you play with?
Oh, my goodness. Marshall Faulk, of course. He can hit the ball long, and he works at his game a lot. And he's probably the best one of all of us. This guy, we went to Puerto Rico to this charity event, and they had a celebrity shootout, and they had people betting who is going to win the shootout, right? He bet on himself.
Marshall Faulk bet on himself.
He bet on himself. People were beating himself. He bet on himself, and he won it. He won it. So that's how confident he was. And of course, Eric can play. He plays every day, so he can play. And Barry Sanders can hit it long. You know, let me see, a bunch of guys.
I said he was Adrian Peterson or somewhere else.
Adrian Peterson, yeah. Adrian Peterson is not really a golfer.
Oh, he has all these charity events. I see him all the time.
No, he goes, but he says he doesn't like golf that much. But we're trying to bring him in. You know, so he comes around. Sport Webb plays a lot. He's good. He's sneaky good.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't hit it very long, but he's very good around the green. So, and that's important. Let me see. Just a bunch of guys, man, that we have fun playing, and we bet also when we play. I don't hit it long either. You know, I told him, I said, you guys are competing with a handicap guy. You know, but I'm okay around the green, so that's where I get them. You know, they all can hit past me, but around the green, you know, the second shot is that's where I get them. So we have fun doing it.
Cool. Well, listen, as ex-celebrity, ex-football players, man, we find a peace of mind at fellowship while we're on the golf course. Hey, man, 4 or 5 hours to be able to kind of just let go of that brutality of what happens on the field, and then just find more of a peaceful spirituality mindset. Golf is a beautiful sport. It allows you just to focus, really get your soul and your rhythm and your body and spirit all in the same manner. Marshall Faulk is he's a tremendous person, not just a golfer, not a football player, but just as a brother. I met him at some of the golf events and stuff like that, and he's just a beautiful person, man. So it doesn't surprise me because of his competitive nature that he always bets on himself, and he's probably been working on that game because he knows, like you're saying, from a confidence standpoint, he's probably one of the best celebrities there is out there. So everybody who's supports the Kansas City Chiefs ambassadors or any of our alumni events, if we have any ambassador events, this is the guy you want to make sure is on your foursome. And when we get back, we're going to talk more about the Chiefs, what's their upcoming games, some of their schedules, some of our own experiences when we face the Chargers. And when we do all that, we'll summarize it and just wrap it up in our last segment, getting to know more about the person, the man, the myth, the legend, the mountain of a man, Mr. Christian Okoye. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Man, welcome back to The Process. Always, man, the process is greater than the product. Again, man, Shawn Barber, former linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, 10-year NFL vet. And I'm here with my guy, Christian Okoye, man. He's in town. Obviously, we have Chiefs Legends Weekend. It's going to be a big week. We're going to, you're already in the Ring of Honor. Yes. Dante Hall is going to be inaugurated or accepted or however you want to term it, enshrined into the Ring of Honor. So excited for that young man, man. Obviously, X Factor, man. A tip of the hat to you. But you spoke about another guy. You spoke about Marshall Faulk earlier, and we talked about his confidence level as far as betting on himself. Let's talk about the way that confidence level might be even something we talk about when it comes to our Kansas City Chiefs. 5-1, number 1 seed right now in the AFC, top of the division. We're facing the Chargers. They've always been a competitive game. It's always been, you talk about the way that the Chiefs have dominated the AFC West over the last 8 years. Well, a few of the losses have always come to the Chargers. They've always been able to play us very close. So maybe what is your thoughts about maybe some of the mindset of some of the, not only the players, but maybe some of the coaches when it comes to Kansas City Chiefs about where they stand right now as far as the season?
Well, every time you play a team in the division, it's always a tough game. Yeah. It's like a playoff game because you're playing not to lose. You're playing to beat them. Yeah. You want to make sure you win the division so you can represent the division in the playoffs. And that's what the Chiefs have done all these years. For the 7th year, right?
Eighth year in a row, right?
Something like
AFC
that.
West, 8 years in a row.
Chargers always, I think they're the only team that is challenging the Chiefs every year. And they've done it very, very well. But they haven't succeeded. But talking about confidence, confidence in a team always comes down from the head coach. You see, and I've seen that very true with Andy Reid. talking about Chiefs players. So when you see them play on the field, especially last year, it's coming together now. But last year and the year before, you saw the confidence in the players, the way they participate in the games. You know that the head coach is the one that instills the confidence on his players. Last year it was kind of iffy, and then we got it together, went to the Super Bowl, and then won it. This year is the same way. By this time last year, I saw a lot of experts saying that the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs, but we made the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. And this year they're not saying it again because they know they made a mistake last year. This year is kind of like the same way, but we're playing better. I think this year you expect a lot of stuff, a lot of good things from the Chiefs, but we think they're not playing as good this year, but they're actually playing very good this year. We have a better defense, and the offense is getting better each week, and it's going to be better this week. So that's the thing. Confidence is everything. When you have confidence, all the hard work you put in during the week comes through on Sunday.
Yeah, you talked about some of the naysayers a year ago, kind of hating on the Chiefs, talking about, well, we're not going to make the playoffs because, last year, guess what? We lost one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league. How are we going to, overcome that? How are we going to overcome losing the Cheetah? And the offense just found a way to bring themselves even closer together as a family on the opposite side of the ball and continue to evolve as an offense. And there's breaking news now. The Kansas City Chiefs have traded a 2025 6th-round pick for Mecole Hardman, and then the 2025 7th-round pick. I think they're going to swap the 6th and 7th-round pick. But we bringing Mecole Hardman, a former wide receiver of the Kansas City Chiefs from last year, back into the fold. He wasn't getting a bunch of playing time. They was, deactivated for a few games, I think, with the Jets. So whatever what thing was going on up in New York, it just wasn't a good fit for him. But hey, man, come on back home, right? Come back to where you're comfortable where he knows the offense. We get an experienced receiver added to the fold. And a lot of people, listen, for the first couple of weeks of the season, I know I've heard a lot of people saying, man, our offense is just, it was the drop balls in week one. And then it was some maybe lack of confidence in the receivers running the right routes when it came to just the way they were finishing routes, in the last couple of weeks. And then not having the amount of targets or the amount of receptions and big plays in the passing game when it came to, last week, because it was so Kelsey focused. Man, I think that there's so much room for growth in our current receiver room. I think bringing a receiver back like Mecole, who understands what it means to be drafted by the Chiefs, grow over a 3-year period of time, move on and realize, hey, the grass ain't always greener at another team. It doesn't matter if the team is the Jets and it's their color is green. There's still an opportunity, I think, for him to come back and add something from a leadership standpoint, from a maturity, mentorship standpoint. And I think he can add overall to that wide receiver room.
I think so. I mean, he's coming back home. He knows the offense, and he's played with all these players, Patrick in particular, and he knows exactly how we played last year or the year before and so on. So I think he's going to add big time to the Chiefs offense.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
So we know the Chiefs got, like we said, it's upcoming, it's alumni weekend. We're about to face the Chargers. The Chargers, man, listen, they come off a bye week. They come off a loss, a late loss to the Dallas Cowboys. It's a heavyweight fight. They're going back and forth. And from what we know this year, the Dallas Cowboys is one of the playoff potential teams. They have a lot of weapons on offense and defense. And that game comes down to the last quarter. It comes down to you got to make a play. And at the end of the day, Herbert threw an interception that, allowed the Cowboys to run out the clock. But they were in that ball game. They have playmakers. Keenan Allen has kind of revived his career. He's one of the top 10 receivers this year as far as receptions, yardage. Austin Eckler missed a few games due to injury, but he's came back.
They have great pass rushers too. So I trust our offensive line to contain them. And that Prescott is not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, yes, you're right about that. So the Chargers going to have to face the Chiefs, and obviously it's great to have this being a home game with all the excitement from the legends. Like we said, having all the former guys back into the building. I know when I was a team, when I played for the NFL and I was a part of a team, whenever we had the legends come back, when we had former players come back, it did mean something more to me. I did feel a little bit of extra, extra weight on my shoulders. I felt some more support. I felt a little bit more powerful. I felt like that Wulik, that when I laid that hit, I could get up and point up to the stands and to some of those older players and say, that one's for you, man. That one's for you. Right. And it does come with a little bit of added responsibility. And I think that's good because when you have a team that's going as well as we have it going, it's sometimes easy for a team to lose focus when things are going well. The defense is playing lights out, and you get a wounded Charger team coming in. But sometimes a wounded team can be dangerous, right? Because their back's kind of against the wall. This is kind of their season. This is week 7 in the NFL. But as far as the Chargers are concerned, this can kind of be a make or break game for their whole season.
I tell you what, Shawn, I remember before the Chiefs started winning the first or second year, and the Reid came to the team. You know, I opened my big mouth. I was in New York, and I was invited by Tiki Barber and Tierney show, and
Tiki and Tierney,
yeah, and that was in the show, and they were asking me, man, what do you think about the Chiefs? You know, they're not living up to their potential or whatever. And I say something like, man, I don't know if Andy Reid is the right coach for us and this and that. Man, I tell you what, next year I was eating my words.
But you know what? It takes a big man to admit that he was wrong. Like, again, to not know Andy Reid, right? So I had the luxury of playing 2 years with the Eagles. Yeah. So I know Andy Reid's process. I know the way he gets himself involved with the evaluation of players. I know what he's looking for as a team. I know that his leadership is an internally driven machine.
Yes.
It's all about creating a competitive nature all preseason long in every room. He wants competition in every room, every position, because competition builds achievement. It helps guys get better and better, and he does not take any shortcuts ever. There's no shortcuts in his training camp. He doesn't ask for extra days off. He makes guys work for their days off. Nothing is given. Everything is earned when it comes to Andy Reid. And he treats guys with so much respect. Treats them as men.
Very important.
And he does that over and over when it comes to everything. So it was only a matter of time before I knew that he could build that same winning culture he had in Philly here. And being a former player of his, I just saw that building so fast. And when he selected Patrick Mahomes, and I had that chance to break down the film and watch him during training camp, I say, hey, man, Alex Smith, this is going to be his last year. When Patrick takes over, he's going to take over. And from day one, he stepped in there. He demanded the respect of those guys.
Yeah.
And it's everything he does with his legs, with his arms, the film study. I mean, he's a pro's pro at the most important position on the field.
I remember the first year that Patrick started, and people were saying, what is going on? What are they thinking? Alex Smith was a great quarterback. Why is you shipping him off and stuff? And I remember during the offseason, we're doing like one of those fantasy camps.
Yes.
And Andy Reid was there, and Clark Hunt was there, and they answered the questions that people had. And they said, well, you know, we studied defense, we watched this kid play, and we have all the trust in him. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, if you guys do, man, I don't have nothing to worry about that, because I don't know. Yeah. I never played for Andy Reid. But I can sense the calm demeanor that he brings to the players. He brings the temperature down. He makes you listen. He makes sure that players listen to him. And that's very, very important, because if players can listen to you, you know, that's all you need. If you make it in the NFL, you're a great player.
Yes, you are.
You're a good player. So it takes a smart coach like him to bring all that out in you.
Man, Andy does a great job of leading the ship. Yeah. He's that rudder. He calms the waters. He creates a environment for guys to really they become laser focused on their job, their alignment, their assignment, their responsibilities. He talks about it all the time. If you ever listen to him on the Chiefs app, he talks about eliminating distractions. Yeah. How do we eliminate distractions and let guys go play? And he does that over and over and over again. And then when there is a mistake, or there's something where the team doesn't, you know, the third and short problems, or, you know, some of the passing game problems, he's the first person to say, you know what, that's on me. As a coach, I got to put him in better positions. I got to coach him up. I got to create some a better tempo, a better flow. I got to get us into a group. So he takes all the bullets. He takes all the negativity, because he wants you as players just to be so focused on your job on the field.
You know, I I developed a huge amount of respect for him when he handled Michael Vick when he came back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think any other coach could have handled Michael Vick the way he did. He gave him an opportunity and he just let him play, you know, and Michael Vick produced for him.
Yes, sir.
You know, so I have all the respect for Andy Reid for doing that.
Great. Shout out to Coach Andy, obviously, Coach Andy Spagnola. There's Andy Heck. There's a number of guys, Todd Pinkston that I played with, former teammates of mine, and now on the coaching staff. Joe Cullen, the D-line coach, man. Coach Cullen, we talk about how the LZs, the way he got that D-line fired up, rotating those guys in, just staying passionately, pursuing the quarterback. There's so many great things that are going on when we talk about the Kansas City team, not just the offense, defensively and special teams when it comes to Dave Tobe and Harrison Bucker and all the things they're doing. So, hey, we're going to take another quick break. This is Shawn Barber. Hey, my man, Christian Okoye. We'll be right back at you.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Welcome back. Obviously, hey, man, you're with the process. This is Shawn Barber, former linebacker for NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs. You're with the process. The process is always greater than the product. And again, before we close the show, before we sum it up, we got to thank, again, the title sponsor, the McGinnis Group, handling all your health benefits needs. If you're a company, corporation, individual, man, reach out to Matt, Sonny, and Scott at the McGinnis Group. Give those guys a call. MGI, you know, remember, the MGI family believes in team. Together, everyone achieves more. Now we're talking about team, man, part of this whole team atmosphere, the process. The reason I even got in the podcast is to be able to tell guys stories. I'm with Christian Okoye. He's the president and founder of the Christian Okoye Foundation. And over the holidays, Christian, there's a unique opportunity, a unique event that our Kansas City community, anybody who's following us, any subscribers, if you want to make some donations to the Christian Okoye Foundation, one of the events that he does every holiday season, I've been honored to be a part of it. All of our alumni, all of our ambassadors come in and be a part of it. Shop with the Jock.
Shop with a Pro.
Shop with a Pro. Shop with a Pro is an event. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yes. We do it every December, early December. This year it's going to be December 9th.
Okay.
So we're going to take 228 kids shopping, and we take all these at-risk poor kids shopping because some of these kids don't get the opportunity to get Christmas presents. So I call on the ambassadors. I'm one of the ambassadors myself to come in and help these kids shop. And we'll give them $200 each to go in and buy whatever they want. And the ambassadors help them pick them out, help them make decisions. And it's one of the great events that we do. And I truly enjoy it because when you look at these kids' faces, when they buy new things, new shoes and whatever they want, they hope they will have at some point. And when they get it, they're very happy. So I love seeing them happy going home. And I always look forward to this event. And so if you want to participate in donating to the Christian Okoye Foundation, go to my website, christianokoye.com. I have a link there to my foundation's page, and you can donate there.
One of the most memorable things you can do this holiday season, it would be a donation to the Christian Okoye Foundation. Shop with a Pro, December 9th. That's going to go on it. We're going to do it here locally. We ain't telling you where it's at because we don't want y'all coming for autographs. It's all about the kids, that event. But
that's right.
All of our alumni, we have 50 plus guys come back. Like Christian said, 220 some kids are going to all get $200 to go out and pick out your shoes, pick out your sweatsuits. The most beautiful thing I noticed each year, the kids don't even use all the money on themselves. A lot of them do buy things for a brother, a sister, or just somebody significant in their life. They always reach, a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. And we try to make sure they make sound decisions. Don't use all of it on a pair of Jordans. Buy you a black pair of shoes and maybe a nice, white pair of shoes, 2 pair of shoes at about $50, $60 a piece. Then buy yourself a nice hoodie or a jacket. Then if you got some extra money left over, spend that on somebody you care about, get them a book bag or something like that.
Well, a lot of times parents will bring these kids, and I've seen one kid one time buy a pair of shoes and he still got money left. And what he did was buy a pair of shoes for his sister. it's just a giving time, and that kind of brought smiles on my face, you know.
Yeah, it's an amazing time, obviously in the spirit in the season of giving. But again, he gives all year long. When you get to that website, you can check out the Christian Okoye Foundation. You'll see a list of things that he is involved in all throughout the year. The organization does an amazing job of just showing a attitude of gratitude, and nobody does it better than my man Christian. Well, listen, we talk about giving now. The one thing I did as linebacker, I gave a bunch of hits out. You know, I gave a lot of, I call them woo licks. I gave a bunch of woo licks out.
You do when you play linebacker.
Yeah, and the Legends game brings up the Chargers. So, like, when I think about the Chargers, I think about, man, in my career, it's two guys. I know you're the nightmare, but in my eyes, the nightmare that I keep having bad dreams about, LT, and I'm not talking about Lawrence Taylor. I'm talking about LaDaine Tomlinson and then Antonio Gates. Having to guard these two jokers and having to hit LT. LT was a foot shorter than you and probably 50 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
But, man, I swear he could hit like a 300. He was so explosive, man.
He's one of those guys that played bigger than they are. You know, I mean, we have a guy with the Chiefs right now that plays bigger than he is. So the LT is the same way. He plays bigger than his size. He's a little guy, but he plays bigger.
So dynamic in the passing game, great vision. But just at the point of contact, when it was time to tackle him, he always exploded into you, and you could feel it as a tackler. And then obviously, like I said, Antonio Gates, his career was shortened through the injury. He didn't play as long as the Travis Kelce's or play as long as Tony Gonzalez's. But for the years he played, he was one of the most impactful, the most, toughest guy. Yeah, he caught everything. That basketball. He brought that basketball skill of being able to post up and just you put it within his wingspan and he would come down with everything.
Yeah.
Such a threat in the red zone when it comes to touchdown, just throwing balls up to him. Man, Phillip Rivers had a monster career just throwing the balls to that young man. So those are the nightmares in my career. Anything from the Chargers?
Yes. Like I said, you know, every time you play a team in the division, you know, I mean, it's always tough. It's like playing a playoff game. And when I played, of course, you know, Chargers, I faced the Chargers linebackers, Gary Plummer and Junior Seau.
Ooh.
And I tell you, Junior Seau is one of those guys that he plays with reckless abandon, you know?
Yes.
It comes like a missile every time. But one particular game in San Diego, it was a goal line play. And we got close to like 2-yard line. And Marty, of course, he likes to run the ball.
To run that ball.
He gave me the ball, and I went in through the A gap, and I went in, and Gary, actually, he flew in over somebody and hit me and stopped me. And I think it was Steve DeBerg that looked back. Marty says, "Run that play again. I don't care. They know what we're doing. Run it again." I said, "Okay, here we go." He came, and I was expecting him to do the exact same thing. And he came flying, and I hit him, man. I took him into the end zone. That's what I'm talking about, Marty said. And every time I see Gary Plummer, he's talking about the same play.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, I hit you. I thought I was going to stop you again. But, man, you saw me coming, and you did what you did. Good job."
Hey, man, we talk about, man, the hard-hitting nature, the sacrifice, the dedication, the determination, to build a mindset to be a pro's pro. Getting to the NFL is one thing. Right? It takes a lot of skill level, a lot of avoiding injury, a lot of just good luck sometimes to be able to be a part of this fraternity we call the NFL. But once you're there and to have a career and not just but a legacy where people remember you by Nick and the Nigerian Nightmare, and then all the great game footage, the years under Marty, where everybody knows that the ball is coming down the A gap and you were still able to just be that. I told my son, in football, you got to be the hammer or the nail. You're going to be one of the two.
Yeah.
Well, you were always the hammer. I mean, you were always the guy hammering the nail down, winning games with the rushing, using your physicality to demand the respect that you deserve. That kind of mindset just is not something that everyone has innately. No. It's something that develops over time.
Well, if I could say something about that, every time I speak to kids, I talk to them, I mention a few players, and I mentioned somebody like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and also Coach Prime. When he played, people said he was flamboyant and stuff. And I told him, I said, listen, when you train as hard as those guys train, it's confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It is confidence. They are not offending you, purposely. They're not calling you names or anything like that. You just don't like the way they feel about themselves because they train so hard that they can talk about it. They are so sure they will do well.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk about it. You see, not many people can do that. If you train well and ready to play the game, you can say the same thing if you want to, or if you don't, but you will do well when you prepare. If you prepare, you do well. So when I see those guys doing that, or maybe putting some of the players that open their mouth, I say, no, you don't listen to what they say. Just concentrate on your work and do it. If you prepare, you do well.
That's right. My mom's a school teacher, and everybody told us growing up that practice equals perfection. And
That's
she
right.
corrected me and said, no, it's not practice. It's proper preparation.
Proper
preparation for practicing the right way, right? Practicing, they say, well, I want to practice until I get it right. And they say, no. Great players practice so much they won't get it wrong.
That's right.
It's just a different it's a different mindset that some guys have about what you're able to commit, sacrifice, dedicate to your job, so that, it's everything. Preparing for it's not even worried about the wins and losses.
Shawn, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I won't take too much time. I tell this story to kids all the time. During the off-season, I go back to California and I train at Chaffey College. And I go over there and I run the track and do my workout and all that. There's a guy that started working out with me. And he started playing for one of those football leagues, local, where you can pay and play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day we ran 200 and we were walking to our starting point. And he says, Christian, it's people like you that put me out of football. And I said, well, how's that? He said, because you made it, that I'm not playing. No. I said, you were not there when I was at Azusa Pacific, when I spent 4 or 5 hours running stairs, getting ready for combine, getting myself. I said, in my whole life that I played professional, I said, I never got out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
You never see me tired. I carried the ball 7 times in a row. I'm still there on the field. I never asked to be brought out. So you did not work as hard. I said, you were not there. I said, what did you do?
Yeah.
You were over there messing around with your friends, and now you're going to want to get into the game?
Yeah.
I said, it doesn't work that way. You have to work yourself into the game. You have to work hard.
Well, people have asked me a couple times about your, hey, Barber, great career, 10 years NFL. Like you said, the things they don't realize is that, I spent 5 years in college, but that was the 5 years of college of not taking any spring breaks, staying in shape all year long.
That's right.
Working out, coming in as a wide receiver, developing my body from a wide receiver to a safety, from a safety to a linebacker, understanding all those positions at different levels. And then once I got that, the opportunity to play linebacker, I wanted to be the best linebacker there was. I didn't want fatigue to make a coward out of me. I didn't want fatigue to be an excuse for me making a mistake late in the game.
Yeah.
So I trained. I didn't use the linebacker training book. I used the DB training book. So I would run routes, do backpedaling drills, cover wide receivers, all in practice, because I wanted my conditioning level to be of a secondary guy. I wanted to be just off the charts when it came time to be just ready for the moment, especially at the end of the game, because that's when all the big moments came. So all the forced fumbles, the interceptions, the pick sixes, when those things happened in the second half and it turned the momentum, those just ended up being so much bigger moments in the game.
Yeah.
But it's back to the preparation.
It's
right?
knowing what you want. It's knowing what you want first.
Yeah.
And then going about getting there is the problem right there. And so many people don't know.
Man.
They think you will be handed out, plaques and everything. No. You got to know what you want. You have to work hard for it and get there the way you're supposed to get there.
Hey, there's no promises in life. The only thing you can do is commit yourself with 2 things, effort and attitude.
Yeah.
Come with tremendous effort and give a positive attitude. I don't care what level of sports you're playing in. You come to work and practice every day with those 2 things, you will be successful at some level when it comes to team sports. So on behalf of myself, again, Shawn Barber, man, Christian Okoye, thank you for your time. Thanks for listening in. We'll be back next week with the process. The process is always greater than product. Again, one time, let's thank the McGinnis Group, our title sponsor. Man, y'all be blessed. Have a great day and enjoy Legends Week as the Chiefs beat the Chargers.